Girls, welcome back to another episode of Girls Who Get It, formerly Motivated and Magnetic. I am your host, Memphis, and this week I wanted to dive into something that has been really helpful for me this week. To give you a backstory, I have been struggling the last couple of weeks, struggling to feel energized, struggling to feel motivated, just struggling day to day to get up and show up and be happy, and there's no real reason for it. I have absolutely nothing to be feeling discontent about. And I believe that a lot of us have these feelings sometimes, and it's usually when life is going quite good or life is going quite well. But I have had to go back to some of my tried and tested tools to get me in a positive mind frame every single day, to get myself out of that low vibe energy and frequency that I've been sitting in. So this podcast is for anyone. If you have been feeling just a little bit out of sorts lately, if you want to have a few fresh ideas and fresh tools that you have in your toolbox to get you motivated, to change your thought processes when you are thinking negatively, and just all round, come back to these. I want this episode to be an episode that you put on in the car when you're having a shitty day, and I want it to leave you feeling happy and with a fucking smile on your face, because I look for this. Sometimes I'm just like listening to something and I'm like, this feels like I have no actual attachment to this whatsoever. This isn't fucking helping me. So this episode I have designed for all my girlies to make you laugh, make you smile, and make you feel good, because I know that we all have ups and downs and it's really normal. So this is what I have been doing, and I'm going to throw in a few extras, but these are 10 things that I have been doing every single day or morning to get me in a better mind frame, to make me feel better about showing up each day and actually getting out of the day what I want to get out of it, as opposed to it just being another day where I'm feeling shit and feeling like I'm not getting anywhere. And I actually sat down for 10 minutes this morning and wrote some things down. I do like to basically just talk off the top of my head most of the time, but I've got some dot points. So let's get into it. All right. Now, this is 10 daily practices to change your mood and your mindset. And I really hope these help you. I would love for you to show up on my social media. Let me know if you have any topics that you'd like me to discuss, or you have any questions, because that is what I'm building this community for, is for women to feel like they have found somebody that understands them and has a voice and is able to help them. So please reach out to me. I am on TikTok and Instagram, and I will leave my links down below when I drop this episode. So let's get into it. The first thing I do is I wake up every morning and I announce, or I tell myself, today is going to be a great day. A great day. Now, you can say this however you like. You can say, today I'm going to show up and be positive and motivated. It's just something that when you wake up in the morning, it is the first thing that I go to, because I know, and I know all of us do it, is that you open your eyes and the first thing you're thinking is, what am I going to do today? What's on my list? Oh, I'm late. I'm running late. I need to be at the gym. Oh, I'm going to be late for work. It's just that boom, boom, boom. And you instantly jump into that reality of chaos. So this is something that I do. Now, I will say, today is going to be a great day, with a smile on my face. And I just say that. I will say, you can say it out loud. You can say it to yourself in the mirror. You can say it however you want. And another thing, now this is just a little add-on that I will do, is that before I go to sleep, I will lay in bed and I will say to myself, tomorrow's going to be a great day. Tomorrow is going to be a great day. And so this is just like the next level to that, is waking up and saying today is going to be a great day, because there is so much energy behind putting those words out there and actually telling yourself, today's going to be a great day. I'm going to show up today. I'm going to be happy today. Do it with a smile on your face, because it sets the intention for your whole day and your whole morning. And it reminds you what's actually truly important as well. Now, number 2 is, and I will be the first person to tell you that I don't do this every single day. I don't. I try, And look, I know when I do it, it's really, I enjoy it and it's helpful. But I will say this is that to save me time in the mornings, I will sit on the toilet and read my book. I just find that it's killing two birds with one stone. It's really easy. It's really simple. And then, you know what I mean? It's like habit stacking, really. It's habit stacking. So I will read 5 pages of my book, or I'll read 2 pages, or I'll read a page. I'll read something, and I will make a real specific note with myself about something that I read during that time that I felt was important. Now, at the moment, I'm reading Dr. Joe Dispenza, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And I've read this book a couple of times, but I always read it really sporadically. So I'll read, 2 chapters, and then a week later I'll read 1. So what I do is that I just go back and read them again, because you need to be reminded of all of these things when you are learning things, when you are growing, when you are evolving, when you are trying to shift your reality of who you are and step into being somebody else. You need to be consistent about it. So if you have to go back and read the same book, or, do the same practices every single day, that combination of actually showing up and being consistent is what's going to get you there. It's not going to be the read this book one time, my whole life is going to change. So this is really a consistency thing. And that's what I'm trying to get across to you in saying this, is that when I say to you, I don't do this every single day, I don't. But you know what? When I don't do these things, I feel it. And I'm like, fuck, why don't I put more effort into it? So because I have been feeling like a sack of absolute shit for the last 2 weeks, and I can tell you, I don't know if it's because I have got my period. I can't pinpoint one specific reason for you or for myself. So in reality, there's no reason for it. And this is why I'm doing these things, because I will say this morning I woke up and yesterday was bad. Today was just as bad, because it was like, I know that I'm going through these feelings, and it's just like, you wake up and it's like everything's a bother. I'm in the car driving to the gym, people in front of me going slow, and I'm just like, hurry up. And I'm just thinking to myself, why are you being like this? Like, I have absolutely no fucking reason for it. So this episode is for me to pull myself up and also show you guys that when you put these practices when you bring them into your life, they do make a difference. And I'm not just saying this. I have been through periods of solitude, fucking depression, just feeling completely lost and hopeless. And these are some of the most important things that I did to bring myself back down to earth. So don't take these lightly. These are good. These are good ones. Number three. I will come into my office every single morning before I start my morning, and I will recite my goals to myself. So I have some goals here written up on my whiteboard, and I will stand in front of it and I will read every single one of them to myself, and I will say them out loud. And I do this because these are my goals. These are what I want to achieve, and they are my main focus in life. I want these to be at the forefront of my mind at all time, and to give myself that reminder. I do it and I say it out loud because I want to confirm with myself that these are the goals, these are what we're actually doing, this is what's actually important, and the things that you do today and the actions that you take today should be in alignment with you getting to these actual goals. So I find, and you know what? I'm a really sporadic person. My brain, it just is all over the shop all of the time. I think a million thoughts a day. And I find myself getting really worked up over frivolous little things, or I will be like thinking about, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do it this way? Should I do it that way? And then I won't do anything because I'm so overwhelmed about all of the options that I've gone through in my own mind. And as I've gotten older, I know this about myself, but it still is one of my biggest, it's something that holds me back more than anything, is the fact that I can't make confirmed and like quick decisions with myself when I need to. And that is why I am the kind of person where I need to give myself daily reconfirmation about this is what I'm doing and this is where we're going. And since I've been doing this, I've really gotten quite strict on myself with it in the last couple of months. I have a goal, and my goal is to have this podcast be really successful. And my goal is to build a community of women that are like-minded, somewhere that feels like you can, like coming home to your best friends. That is my goal. And I have my sights set on that, and I will not stop until I get to that. So that is why I come in and I remind myself every single day of where the hell I'm going and why I'm doing what I'm doing. Now, number 4, in the mornings, I basically have 2 routines. There's about 3 days a week where I will get up and I will go straight to the gym. And on those mornings when I do that, as soon as I get into the car, I will put on some positive affirmations. Now, I've got like a little playlist in my Spotify that I've made of myself. I think it's Affirmation Babe. And there's a few different ones in there. I honestly just get in, press shuffle. And what she does is she like says positive affirmations and you repeat them back to her. So I know everybody has whatever you're working towards, there's self-love, there's confidence, there's just, hot girl, lucky girl, all of those things. Whatever you feel that is most aligned with you, I would really recommend that you make a playlist of positive affirmations, and when you're in the car and you're going somewhere, especially first thing in the morning when your mind is wanting to absorb all of those really important things, that you play them and you repeat them to yourself. Now, sometimes I do a bit of like deep breathing, Wim Hof style stuff as well. So I've kind of got that in there. But whatever I'm feeling in that moment, like if I get up and I'm like, oh, I'm feeling really, like I don't have any confidence today, I'm just not feeling good about myself, then I'll put on one that's like involved in confidence. If I'm in that like hot girl vibe where I'm like, fuck yeah, lucky girl syndrome, then I'll pop something on like that. If I'm really struggling with my limiting beliefs around money and success, then I'll put on like a money one. So whatever you think that you need, I think it's really important when you are doing any of these practices is that you need to structure it to be suitable to you, because you know what you need at the end of the day. And if you don't, then you should take some time and really think about that and spend some good amount of time reflecting on where you are at and where you would like to be. Because I can sit here all day and say, this is what I do, you should do this, 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 and this. But this is just a guideline, something that I do and I feel that is helpful for others, but in the structure that you know is going to work for you. So that's number 4. Number 5. Number 5 is my favorite. So me and one of my best friends, Chanel, we do our morning gratitude. We have been doing this for months, and I tell you what, we did this. I think we started doing this. If you've listened to my previous episode about people pleasing, Chanel is my best friend, and she's the one with the dog story. So I think it was after this situation that we decided, and it was her idea too, that every single morning we were going to text ourselves or voice note ourselves or just tell each other 3 things that we are grateful for. And I can tell you what, I look forward to it every single morning. I get so excited, and I always will make sure I do mine before I read hers or I listen to hers, because I think sometimes when you do it, you read what they say, and she's so good with words too. So I'm like, oh my God, I love that. And then you find that the gratitude that you have like listed down can be in a line. Like, I know I do this, so can align with like what she's saying. So I'm like, okay, I've got to do my own first. You got to have a mind of your own. But I just love it. It makes you realize the things that are actually important in life, because when you look at your gratitude and you read the things that you write, for me personally, it's never like a materialistic thing. It's like, I'm so grateful that I get to wake up this morning and the sun is shining. I get to spend some time outside walking my dog. I'm so grateful to have a loving and caring partner who makes me laugh every day, who shows up for myself. I am so grateful that I have the ability to structure my life exactly how I want it to, and I am in control of where I'm going. Those are the kind of things that we will say to each other. And it's about your self-growth, and it's about understanding where you are. It's never like, oh, I'm so grateful that I got paid today. It's not that. So it really makes you realize what's important. And we have started a new practice. We started yesterday, actually. And that is every single night we are doing something that we are releasing. So yesterday, what did I say to her? I want to actually give you guys the real... What did we say? We've already been talking a lot today, as you can fucking tell. So last night, I said, I am releasing my attachment to always having to feel good and be upbeat. Because yesterday was not a feel good, be upbeat day for me. And it was just one of those days where I realized, you know what? You don't have to feel good every single day. You don't always have to be happy and smiling and show up. You don't have to. You're okay just being where you are. As long as you recognize that and you're forgiving of yourself for that, then it's okay. And that's where I'm at with myself, because god damn, it's hard when you're like angry at yourself for not being perfect and not feeling good and not feeling happy, and you can't get yourself out of it. It's like a never-ending cycle. So that's why last night I came home and I was just like, you know what I mean? I didn't have a bad day. I really pushed myself and tried with all of my practices, but at the same time, like, I was just like, you know what? I need to sit on the couch and just put my jammies on, have a shower, and just be. And that's exactly what I did. And here we are. Number 6. This is one we all say we do, and you hear it time and time again. Number 6 is that I try to stay off social media for at least the first hour of my morning. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I stay off my phone, because that's not true. Because I'll go on there to put my podcasts on, to put my affirmations on. I'll go on there to voice note Nell. I will go on there to do those things. But getting up first thing in the morning, checking things like Instagram, TikTok, your emails, anything like that, I don't like to do. And another thing that I would also recommend is, if you are someone that is struggling with money, or, you know, welcoming abundance and money into your life, I don't like to wake up first thing in the morning and check my bank account, because when there's not a lot of money in there, you instantly are affirming with yourself, oh, I've got no fucking money. And then you will hold that feeling and that thought throughout the day. So that's something else that I don't do, because I just feel like it's not important. And it's just basically anything that's going to bring you back into reality of lack or doubt or not feeling good about yourself is something that you should choose to stay away from. So don't be on social media scrolling first thing in the morning feeling like you're a piece of shit and your life is boring, because that's not going to help anybody. The power of staying off your phone, you do not realize how important it can be for your mental health. So I would really recommend this if you are somebody that is struggling, because it's really heavy, the effect that it can have on you. And I know that we all feel it and we all go through it, because it's just mentioned time and time again. So that is something that I do try to do. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm perfect and I do it every morning. Sometimes I will jump on if I'm feeling happy and I'm feeling really good and I want to send a message to my girls on social media. Then I will jump on and post a story, those kind of things. But like I've said to you time and time again, you take these points and you use them and you structure them to make them work for you. Do what you know is going to work for you. And if you don't know, then try some of these, and then you can figure out what you like, what you don't like, what you feel works, what you feel doesn't work, and you can have a structure of your own. Number 7. I will try to, like I said to you earlier, Some days I go to the gym, other days I'll just get up and take my dog for a walk. And I will tell you what, those days where I go outside, most of the time I don't even take my phone. I just spend an hour walking my dog. I used to be a really big person with always have headphones in, always listening to a podcast, always needing some kind of stimulation. But lately, I've been making a real effort to just go for a walk with no headphones in. Listen to the birds. Just take a few deep breaths. I like to just stand outside. You'll just find me staring. I get up really early, so it's like 4:00 in the morning. So I'm like staring at the moon. I just take it all in. It's a beautiful time when the world is quiet and silent, and it's a time where you can sit with your own thoughts. And I really use that time to structure my day, or if I am feeling not good, you know what I mean, to just take some deep breaths and make you feel good, because I will always come back from that and I will always feel really, really good about myself. And there is a lot of days where I'll be driving to the gym and I'm like, I need to be outside this morning. I need to just go for a walk. I can't be inside and be confined anymore. And I'll just go for a walk, because walking's not only good for you physically, it is so fucking good for you mentally. It is my go-to. So if you can spend, and it doesn't have to be an hour, half an hour, whatever, just go outside. Don't have any stimulation. Don't use your phone. Don't be sitting there listening to a podcast or scrolling while you're walking. Actually pay attention to just the world and what's going on around you. And I find that, that's probably one of my most important ones, is just, it's movement. It's just like reconnection with yourself. And it's really, really important. Number eight. I will smile at everybody that I come into contact with. Not only that, but you know what I mean? If you're walking along and you just got a smile on your face, just smile. You're saying positive affirmations to yourself. It's powerful. I will go out of my way when I'm walking my dog. If someone stops and they have their dog and the dogs are saying hello, I will always take the time to be like, hey, good morning. How's your day going? Like, sometimes you notice that, especially I find with like older people, is that may be the only social interaction that they have in their entire day. Is that interaction that they have with you. And I go out into this world and I want people to feel good in my presence. I want people to feel good in my energy, because what is better than making people feel good? I know that when I'm like out and about, when you're smiling at someone, even if they don't smile back at you, it's just the fact that you are oozing that positive energy, because it catches on. You find that people are like, oh, hey, how you going? And it's just like, we live in a world where all of this connection is so based on being online and all of these things, but none of that is real connection. None of that is real community. And then you find that in real life that people don't know how to talk to one another. And it's not that fucking hard. Like, I just always go out of my way to make people feel seen, because I know that is something that makes me feel good, and it is the way that I want people to treat me. So that is the way that I choose to treat other people. And look, I know we're not all on all the time. Sometimes you have those days where you're like, oh, I can't be fucked to say hello to this person. But at the end of the day, I know within myself that when I'm in that mood, if I make the effort, I always walk away feeling better. So it just says to me that smile, be happy, and it helps you roll with the punches in life. Because if you're sitting in that mood, energy of just overall being a happy person, when something doesn't go your way, it's so much easier for you to lift yourself above that experience and be like, yeah, that happened. Yeah, it was shit. But at the same time, I'm still going to be happy. Where when you're in that, like, for example, when you're driving in the car and you're stuck behind somebody and they're really slow and you're like, oh, fucking hurry up. Or you're at the lights and someone's taking ages. And when you're in one of those moods where everything's just getting to you, and you just allow yourself to get so worked up about something like that. And then when you're in that mood where you're like, oh, everything's all good, happy, smiling, like when something like that happens, you're like, oh, it's not that big of a deal, And that is really, really important, because if you go through every single day being pissed off, stressed out, upset, every little thing's going to get to you, you're going to spend so much energy worrying and working yourself through that bullshit that you're not actually going to have any time to do anything good for yourself. So just smile, be happy, take a deep breath, whatever you need to do. Now, number 9. I love the number 9. Okay. I remind myself of what's actually important for me today to feel successful. And usually that is my 3 most important tasks. Now, I heard this a long time ago from a friend of mine. And he was telling me, I don't know who he learned it off, but it was like a trainer or a mentor or somebody. And he said that one really successful way to set up your week is to have your most important tasks, your 3 important tasks. Now, that is 3 things that you need to do or get done, succeed in doing in your week for your week to be a success. And what it really does is that at the end of the week, if you had done nothing else, but you had done these 3 most important tasks, that your week was still looked at like a success. And I have mentioned this yonks ago in one of my podcasts, and I have always used this. And it is so easy and really fucking gives you that it actually works, because I've had weeks where I'm off, where I'm down, where I just don't feel like doing anything, but I have got those 3 most important tasks done that I have told myself to do. And I still look at my week and say, hey, that week was a success for me. So if you have something that you're trying to achieve, something that you're working towards, or you know what, it can just be, I'm going to show up to work every single day this week with a smile on my face and be happy. Or I'm going to take a second before, when my partner comes at me with something, before I answer, before I respond, I'm going to try not to be so negative or try not to be so snappy. Just 3 things like that. Or I'm going to go out of my way to get up and go for a walk 3 days a week this week. It can be anything. It's just allowing you to confirm to yourself that you can do things and that your week has been a success. So I feel that if you are struggling to set yourself goals, if you are struggling each week to feel like you're actually getting somewhere or that you're actually achieving something, I would recommend that you try this 3 most important tasks, because it's actually really powerful and it's something that I use. It's a tool I use and I really enjoy it. Number 10. Number 10 is, it's just something that I come back to whenever I'm feeling overwhelmed, if my mind's going into overdrive, if I find I'm getting worked up, if I just feel myself, you know that feeling where you're like, oh, your brain's rattled and you just don't feel good about where you are in that moment, I will just take a few deep breaths. Sometimes all it takes is just sitting there. I do it a lot when I'm in the car, and I'll just take 10 deep breaths. And I will just remind myself everything is all good. And that will be my addition to this, which is a sentence that I repeat to myself pretty much 24/7. I repeat this to myself when I'm falling asleep. I will repeat this to myself when I'm driving in the car. And I will say to myself, I attract limitless miracles, freedom, luck, and money. And I will say that to myself over and over and over again. I will repeat it to myself as I'm falling asleep. I will say it to myself when I'm getting up in the morning. I will just walk around saying it. I will go for a walk and I'll be walking around saying it. I look like a crazy person, but I actually do not care. When I'm driving along, I will just say it over and over and over and over again. I attract limitless miracles, freedom, luck, and money. And I think it's really important that we all have some kind of positive affirmation that is very special and close to us for what we're trying to do and what we're trying to achieve, because it brings you back down to where you're going. It's just like when I come in and I read my goals, when I say my affirmations, when I repeat these things to myself, it is me confirming that, and it is me welcoming in that energy into my life. So highly recommend that you have some kind of a affirmation or something that you say to yourself. It can be in regards to anything. If you're trying to achieve something, it can be, I'm going to be happy today. I feel positive. I am energized. It can be anything along those lines, something that is going to make you feel good, and just repeat it to yourself over and over again. I don't care if you feel crazy or people think you're crazy, because Delulu is basically the solution. You have to be delusional in your wants and your needs and your thoughts and your desires, because that's what's actually going to get you there, as well as a lot of action. But just be happy, be positive. There is so much evidence in science behind what you think, and your thoughts create your reality. So take control of your thoughts, speak the things that you want to welcome into your life, and try and do all of this with a smile on your face, because I guarantee you, even your bad days will be better when you do this. So I just like this to be a podcast that you can listen to when you're maybe not feeling the best and you want a little bit of happiness and a little bit of light into your life. Is come back, choose some of these practices. You don't have to do them all. I'll repeat them for you one more time. So these are 10 daily practices to change your mood and mindset. Number 1, I wake up every day and I announce to myself today is going to be a great day. Number 2, I read 5 to 10 minutes in the morning. Number 3, I will go into my office and I will read my affirmations or my goals that I have on my wall. Number 4, if I'm in the car, wherever I'm going, I'll be listening to positive affirmations and repeating them back to myself, or I will be saying my own affirmation and repeating that back to myself. Number 5, I voice note my bestie about what I am grateful for, and this is a game changer. So if you've got a best friend, you should do this. Number 6, try and stay off social media for the first hour of your day. Number 7, go outside. Go outside. Don't wear your headphones. Just listen to the world and just be present. Number 8, smile. Smile. It's free. Number 9, remind yourself of what is actually important. What do you need to achieve for you to make this day, week, whatever hour feel like a success? Number 10, if you're feeling overwhelmed, just take a few deep breaths. It's not that hard. Listen to some Wim Hof. He's actually really good. And final bonus points. I do this when I'm like, I need help. I do this. I go outside and I practice some grounding. So if you don't know what grounding is, it's basically where you're just standing on the earth with your bare feet. I'll just go sit out in my backyard, put my feet on the grass for 10 minutes. I did that as I was writing these 10 steps today. I used to be really into grounding. Like I used to do it every single day. And you know what? It made such a difference in my life. And this is when I was like really beginning my self-love, happy girl, lucky girl syndrome journey, which was so good. And then I stopped doing it for like years because I was just busy and, preoccupied. And then a few months ago, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get back into my grounding. And so I will go for a walk in the morning and go down to the park, and I'll just take my shoes off and walk around the park with no shoes on for 10 minutes. People look at me like I'm fucking weird, but I don't really care. And I tell you what, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel really good. I will come back to you with the science behind it, because I've listened to a million podcasts on it. It's basically like the frequencies of the earth penetrating your soul. And there is science behind people that have been sick, and they just go lay them down on the ground and the earth actually heals them. The earth has healing powers. So if you are feeling just wacky, my question to you would be, when was the last time you just stood on the earth? When you just walked somewhere with bare feet? When was the last time? Because I know for a lot of us, it would be never, a really long fucking time, because you wear shoes everywhere. So grounding is a really cool practice. And if anybody else does it, I would love to hear. So these are my 10 tips and a bonus. This is just an episode that I made because I want you to be happy. And I want you to know that I get it when you don't feel good every single goddamn day, and when you're feeling low energy and you can't get yourself out of that rut. These are some of the things and some of the practices that I come back to when I really need help, and I hope that these have helped you. So, thank you for joining me for another episode of Girls Who Get It. Please come and follow me on social media, talk to me, interact with me. I really want to have this community flourishing with women because we're all beautiful and we deserve to be friends. So, thank you. And just remember, I'm not an influencer, I'm a human being, and so are you. Love yous.